All right, Richard, we're here. Richard Lermont, right?
Right, that's me.
Right.
And Chris Steely.
I am here, my friend. All right. So it's funny because you and I are having rich, wonderful conversations, and all of a sudden, spontaneously, we're hitting record like we did right now. And I think what we're broaching right now is in the context of life and living a rich, full life and awareness is the kind of the container, the context, the concept of masculine and feminine.
Mhm.
Isn't that interesting when I say those two words? What comes to your mind? Right now, you and I are a couple dudes, right, with a masculine nature. At the same time, I can speak for myself, Richard, that I think I'm in touch with my feminine side. What does that mean? Ooh, that's kind of weird, Chris. But there's a feminine nature that resides inside me, even though I'm in a masculine shell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what does that mean though? What does it mean to you, a feminine nature? How do you how do you quantify that or qualify that feminine aspect? What is it in terms of strength? What is it in terms of compassion? In terms of what? What
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
good. So okay. So when I think of, it's funny because it's hard to put into words because all we have is stereotypes, right? Like I say, we're a couple dudes. We're representing overtly and visually and in our foundational characters a masculine essence. And what does that mean? That means, we're men. We have testosterone, maybe we think linear, right? You know, in business, it's a man's world these days. Men are the ones running business. So men are kind of in charge, and that kind of sucks, but we can talk about that later. But it's kind of what it is. We have ego, we have bravado, right? We when we think about the benefits of a masculine nature, if you think of, I think of like ancient, like caveman era, Neanderthal type thing. We were the hunter killers. The men have got instincts to hunt and kill. We go out and do that, right? On the other side, the women. You brought it up, nurturing. More. What would you say? What comes to mind when you say feminine?
Well, that's the um, the nurturing and uh, caretaking. I mean, these were some of the qualities that we've learned from the past. But I mean, today's world, we see so many women who have the capacity to, who are out there fighting wars, man. They're more masculine than I am. They can go out and, you know, in that sense, in terms of how they can deal with certain situations. So it's really, the it's a funny subject. It's a really funny topic, um, because still, we're men. We can't bear children, so you know, nor do I want to, but um, but it's something that women bring, and so it comes with them this incredible strength that us men we just can't we can't even fathom, you know, to be able to bear children and take care of them, the compassion, the patience, the ability the quality that the mother have, to be able to do that and still take care of other things, to go out and work and still be there for the child. Most men just don't even know what that's about. I'm not saying not all men, but most men, it's just not
Well,
not
just
our
straight
world.
up, I mean, no man knows what it's like to be a woman, unless, of course,
Right.
you have a gender change and you surgically and whatever. We have Caitlyn Jenner, great example of that, right? He now knows what it's like to be a woman. And you can do that these days, which is very, very another interesting topic that we might broach down the track. But anyway, back to the essence of masculine and feminine.
But people there are lots of people who would argue that is you know Caitlyn may claim that he's a woman, but is he really a woman? There's all kinds of arguments about that. In his world, he'd be like, yes, of course I am. I know what it feels like. And but from a woman's world, he'd be like, well, really, you didn't really one with it. But what about those who are what we call um, hermaphrodites. I think there's another name for them, but
Hermaphrodites, right? Right.
yeah, who are born with both sexes, you know, and
Yeah, yeah.
so I mean, this exists. I mean, this is a wide world, so there are all kinds of experiences, and there are all kinds of unique people that's on the planet. And who am I to say, really? But I think we're just having this conversation just to open it up and to be able to, you know, um, to have a diverse conversation, and hopefully we can invite those who will be interested in participating in this conversation to to just to you know share in the diversity that this great world that we live in, that it, how it exists, and not just put one group of people down on one up, or anything like that. It's
And
just
I love that. As we open up this conversation to people, we can spontaneously create wonderful, enlightening, colorful conversations around this topic, around masculine, feminine. Frankly, I think that it's important that we work together in that context, kind of like a yin and a yang, right? You got the masculine and the feminine collaborating and working together. Because what I've learned as a facilitator in the context of what we branded as gender partnership, that in business, women are smarter than men are. And it's proven statistically that companies that have women in leadership perform better than the ones that don't. So we need, especially as men, to come to terms with the fact that we need women in leadership. We need to create a balance and bring the two sides together, because it's off balance right now. There's not enough of
Absolutely.
that feminine force that's helping to sculpt our future, I think. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So I think this is a big subject, and there are various avenues we can go down this subject, and unfolding more about this balance between male and female, in terms of business, in terms of relationships, in terms of just how we get
So,
on
Richard,
together.
I'm going to take a bold action. If you're watching this right now and you have a passion in your heart to join this conversation,
hmm
kick out a comment or kick out a private message here on Facebook and let us know that you'd like to be part of the conversation. Not you, Richard, but us, Chris and Richard together. Let us know. Okay, just put a comment and say, yes, I want to be involved in this conversation. And let's see where it goes. Does that make sense, Richard?
That sounds great.
All right. Till next time, my friend.
Until then, cheers.